The morning of transplant day -2, which is really one of the biggest days of all, where you're going to get Melphalan if you are doing one like mine. So, the point of this transplant is to get the Melphalan. The chemo is the treatment. The stem cell collecting and giving them back to you is just part of what you have to do if you're going to take high dose chemotherapy. But this treatment I'm getting on day -2, the 30 minutes of Melphalan, wipes out as much myeloma as possible in my stem cells or in my bone marrow. And then it also wipes out the rest of my healthy bone marrow products, which is why you transplant healthy stem cells back in 2 days later to repopulate your immune system and blood manufacturing and all of that. But today, day number 2, I'm about to get Melphalan, and it is the biggest day of the procedure. This is like the day that I'm getting the chemo that will help put me into remission, hopefully. So here we are getting all set up. And then you can hear me in a second explain from that day what we're about to do. Good morning. It's day -2, -2. I don't know. I'm getting chemo this morning. Well, this afternoon. First, we're going to hydrate for 2 hours, then pre-meds, then 2 hours, then Melphalan takes 30 minutes, and then I think they watch me for 2 hours, and then they send me home. So all I have here is some saline going in, and then I think they'll start doing some sort of anti-nausea med that the nurse said works for like 3 days. So all about that. And then we'll start ice chewing to prevent mouth sores sometime before the Melphalan. But watching the clock and waiting around right now. Just hanging out here in a boring room. One of the side effects of Melphalan is that it can cause really, really bad sores in your mouth and down your esophagus, and then also in your stomach and intestines. So they give you ice for like 30 minutes before they give you the Melphalan, and you chew ice to keep your mouth super cold because that restricts the blood vessels in your mouth and helps the Melphalan not get into the tissue of your mouth. I chewed that ice like a champ, like my comfort level in the future depended on it, and I successfully did avoid getting terrible mouth sores in my mouth and throat. However, I chewed that ice so hard that my mouth got so numb that I ended up biting my cheeks and causing like little blisters inside of my cheeks, which is different than like Melphalan sores. But I freaked myself out because I was like, great, now I have an open wound and I'm going to lose my immune system. It ended up being fine, but if you're going to do this, be careful you don't chew your cheeks. You're welcome. They sent me home after all of that day of chemo, and I cozied up on the couch. The side effects from the Melphalan didn't really hit for another day and a half. So I didn't feel great, but I didn't feel really as bad as I was about to. But it was a successful chemo day. So cheers to day -2.